I'm done, yeah, that's it. Okay, excuse me. I'll just, yeah, that makes sense. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. No, you're okay. You know what? You're good. Okay, yeah. All right, okay.
This short video is going to explain what continuity editing is and how it's used today. We have an interview with an Edgehill University professor who specialises in film. This is to give us an insight of an expert's view and thoughts.
My name is Owen Evans and I'm Professor of Film at Edgehill University.
Let's start with what continuity editing is.
Continuity editing was a style of editing which was linked very much to the development of narrative and narrative cinema in the late teens and 1920s. After the sort of the early quite static films that were made at the turn of the century, filmmakers began to experiment with ways of making narrative much more dynamic and allowing us to get a better sense of the development of narrative but also character. So it's a style of editing which begins to introduce a variety of different shots which the audience begin to understand as a way of us understanding a character and how they might be feeling or how they might be responding to what they see. So we begin to sort of see a collection of different shots put together to help tell a story.
The Birth of a Nation, a film by D.W. Griffith, introduced the practice of continuity editing with the screen position and a loose form of cutting on the action. For example, you can see in this scene, you can see the workers from afar, and in the next shot it goes in a bit more, and then in the next shot you get a close-up of what they're actually doing, but yet you still don't miss any of the action, as the action still goes on but the camera just zooms in a bit more each time. The action follows in each shot continuously, with the action being eye-line with the audience. A great example of today's use of continuity editing would be Mad Max Fury Road, which was edited by Margaret Sixel. As you can see, it's a very fast shot-to-shot fight scene. All the action is where the viewer will be looking. This is mostly to keep the viewers engaged and entertained, as they don't need to search the screen or miss any action taking place in the scene.
I think the influence is that it's kind of the norm now. The way that most Hollywood films are cut, they are cut in ways that try not to unsettle the audience, so the audience get a real sense of what's happening. It's an invisible cut essentially. That people don't notice the editing, and that's the kind of the norm for, I suppose, mainstream cinema. So what makes it interesting is when you have filmmakers that don't do that, or play with that, or modify that, or ignore editing and cutting altogether.